Let's look at some teacher training and PD models. The SAMR model has been used in the AMDSB, and it was used at the beginning when we had iPads for grade 7 and 8. And we used it to determine whether or not a task was at a lower level or a higher level. And so substitution is the lowest level, and redefinition is the highest level, where you're using it for inauthentic ways, for something that you couldn't have used an iPad for before. And this model has since come under some criticism. One of the problems is that it's very predefined, so it doesn't take into consideration the context of teaching and learning. Then there's the TPAC model. And the TPAC model brings together three areas: pedagogy, content, and digital technology. And teachers normally use this model as part of inquiry with other colleagues in order to design tasks and to determine whether or not they would work in their particular context. So context is taken into consideration. There's no ranking of the type of digital technology that's being used, but the teacher is asked to look at the content and the approach to teaching, and then they have to determine from that which digital technology would be the most appropriate. Some criticism for this model is that it is too broad and complicated to use. The other model that I have here is the TIM model, and that model is a little bit more like the SAMR in terms of a progression. However, you are not required to rate the task. What you try to do is move through different approaches to pedagogy. So you might be starting at something that is more teacher centered, and then you're going to move towards something that is more student centered, which would be the most appropriate. But it does depend on your context. So sometimes a student centered task isn't the best way to go. So the TIM model does offer some flexibility, and it isn't focused on assessing the task. It's looking more at the design.